Today in court we heard a telling wiretapped phone call from Charlie Adelson. Undercover FBI had been contacting his mother Donna Adelson and they had been pretending to be blackmailing her. So Charlie picks up the phone to the undercover agent and Charlie might think that he's being smart and he's being cagey, but his words give him away.
I don't know Taco. You don't know Taco? I'm not really know Katie and Tuco. They've been taken care of since family problem was taken care of up north. I don't know. I was
It's not just what he says, it's how he says it. This is a quick look at day 5 of the Donna Adelson trial. These daily episodes focus strictly on what's said in court, the words that are used. No legal drama, no courtroom gossip, just the language said in evidence and on the witness stand. And then each week during the trial, I'll release a deeper statement analysis investigation into the most revealing language in the case. So do subscribe to this channel right now so you don't miss these daily breakdowns or the deep dive that is still to come. And this week's deep dive will feature Wendy Adelson on the big question, were you involved? And also Robert Adelson, who we haven't heard from before in any of these Adelson trials. But before we go to day 5 in the wiretaps, thank you so much for all the comments that you're leaving under these videos. I love reading them all. So many of them, it's hard to keep up, but here's a couple of my favorite ones. This is Betty saying, this case is a web of lies from what I've seen and heard so far. Oh yes it is, Betty. Lots of lying going on in court. Thank you for confirming some of my thoughts about the wild stories and highlighting others. It's a pleasure, Betty. Always go with your gut. You've had these thoughts about what's being said, and I can show you why you're right to have those thoughts through looking at the language that is being used in court. And then here we have Spire saying, awesome content and analysis. Thank you so much, Spire. You need to contact the authorities in Florida. I think they've got this one in the bag, to be honest with you. I think they've got this. They don't need my help. But what a great comment. I bet Emily D. Baker isn't getting comments like that. Anyway, let's go on to what happened in court today. Lots of stuff, lots and lots of wiretaps. Charlie on the phone to Donna, on the phone to his girlfriend Katie, being eavesdropped, to having meetings with people and so on. All really interesting, not great from analysing people's words, because most of the time in these wiretaps, the very innocent Adelson family were talking in code for some reason on lots of these calls, so hard to get a steer on that. But we do have something here. Like I said, the FBI undercover have contacted Donna, pretending to be trying to blackmail her, hoping that they'll shake up the Adelson family a little bit and get something out of them through these wiretaps. And at some point, Charlie decides to call the undercover FBI. He thinks they're trying to blackmail Donna, but he wants to find out what's going on. And this is that phone call.
Hello? Hola, Lina. Hello, Lina. Who is this? Who's this? Someone's been calling my family and trying to figure out who this is. In reference to what, man? Someone by the name of Sandy call? Yeah, that's me, man. Alright, what's going on? Well, what's going on? My brother Taco. Okay, my brother Taco has not been taken care of. His family's not been taken care of. I talked to thankless Taco. Why are you calling me? Who are you? I gave the number to a lady. I don't know Taco. You don't know Taco? I'm not really know Katie and Tuco. They've been taken care of since family problem was taken care of up north. I don't know. I was You don't? Well, I'm going away, my friend. Because let me tell you something. I was a driver with Taco, and he told me the whole story. He told me nobody was taking care of him, nobody was taking care of his family. The family was taking care of Katie and Tuco, and nothing's been taken care of with Taco. So we know what's going on. And Taco needs to be taken care of, do the right thing. The lady already has the paperwork, she knows what I'm talking about. We know Katie, we know Tuco, we know they've been taken care of. Let me look at it. No more fucking around, man. No more fucking around. This ain't going away. You guys need to do the right thing for Taco. That's my brother, man. That's my brother, and he needs to be taken care of. His family needs to be taken care of, just like Dave and Keith have been taken care of.
I've never met these people, but let me call you back, okay?
That's bullshit, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know this lady. I don't know your relationship with the lady, but we know what the fuck is going on. Just take on that way. Take care of that, just like you take care of Dave and Keith, man.
Right, now there's two games going on here. Obviously, there's the game going on with the FBI guy who's an agent, law enforcement, but pretending to be a blackmailer, an extortionist. And then there's Charlie. Now, Charlie's got a couple of games going on here as well because he doesn't know who's calling. If this is a genuine blackmail attempt, he's probably thinking, I could work with this person and make it all go away. If this is, the FBI, which he suspects it might be, then he's got to act like nothing is going on at all. So it's in his interest to act like an innocent person concerned about what's been raised with his mum. Let's go through the call. Charlie says hello, and the FBI guy says hola. Charlie says hello. The FBI guy says something indistinct, and Charlie says, who is this? The FBI guy says, who is this? And Charlie says, someone's been calling my family. I'm trying to figure out who this is. Tell number one, his very first sentence of any substance in this call, Charlie says what his game is. I'm trying to figure out who this is. Now, if this was a blackmail attempt or if this was a sort of covert blackmail attempt, you would really be wanting to know, what is it you want? Instead, he gives the game away by saying, I'm trying to figure out who this is. He plays all his cards on the table straight away. Instead of saying, I'm calling to see what you want, he says, I'm trying to figure out who this is. The first thing we say is always, often the most important thing that we say, and that's what we've got here. We've got him saying, I'm trying to figure out who this is. The FBI guy says, in reference to what, man? Charlie says, someone by the name of Sammy called. And the FBI guy says, yeah, that's me. And Charlie says, all right, what's going on? What's going on? Again, he's playing all his cards here. He's not in control. He's on a fact-finding mission. I'm trying to figure out who this is and what's going on. If you thought your family were being blackmailed, you would probably be telling this person, go away, we'll call law enforcement. That never enters Charlie or Donna's mind. You might have noticed calling law enforcement about this blackmail attempt. No, they're not going to do that for some reason. But instead, I'm not saying they're not legitimate questions. They're questions you could ask someone in this situation. But the way he's doing them, he's showing exactly what is on his mind. And what's going on is about a current event. It's not what's happening. It's not what do you want. It's what's going on. He's super focused and super stressed by this current event. So then the answer comes to him, well, what's going on is my brother Tato, okay? My brother Tato has not been taken care of. His family has not been taken care of. I talked to, well, why are you calling me? Who are you? I gave the number to a lady. Now, normally I would say someone not answering the question is a lie and it's evasive. In this case, Charlie doesn't answer the question. He says, I don't know Tato, which is legitimate when he doesn't want to give away his name. You know, he's in a bit of a bind and a bit of a situation here. So I'm not going to call him a liar for not saying his name. But man, that answer is, I don't know Tato. He's ahead of himself here because this guy hasn't said to him, you know Tato, you're involved with Tato, he doesn't even say you should be looking after Tato. He's just stating some facts at the moment. My brother Tato has not been taken care of. His family has not been taken care of. He hasn't yet got to the point of, and you guys should be taking care of him. And yet Charlie goes in too fast with, I don't know Tato. Now, by the way, you'll notice that Charlie, although his girlfriend organised the hit, he had never met the two hitmen, Tato and Tuco. So it's very easy for him to give a truthful statement of, I don't know this person, because he doesn't know this person. But that's not what the allegation is. The allegation is you don't know the person. The allegation is you haven't looked after this person. So the FBI guy says, you don't know Tato? Charlie says, I don't. And then he drops the bomb. The FBI guy says, you know Katie and Tuto, they've been taken care of since the family problem has been taken care of up north. Now, this is at the point where Charlie should have said, I don't know Tato, because now it's very clear what is going on. You know Katie and Tuto, they've been taken care of since the family problems have been taken care of up north. That's the murder of Dan Markel. And Charlie, oh boy, does that get Charlie, because he realises exactly what is going on here. And it's not in the transcript in front of you, but you can hear it if you just rewind back to listen to it. The stutter in Charlie. There's a pause, and then he says, I don't know who you are, which is the stress which must just hit him here with this person knows the entire story about who commissioned the killing of Dan Markel, who did the killing of Dan Markel, and Charlie, my link to it. The stress is huge, and he stutters badly. He says, I don't know who you are. And notice, again, he doesn't say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about the family problem up north that's been taken care of. He doesn't say, I don't know Katie and Tuto at all. He says, I don't know who you are. It's a really, really bad denial. There is no, what the hell are you talking about here? It's a very, I don't know who you are. The FBI guy says, you don't? Charlie says, no. And the FBI guy says, well, this isn't going away, my friend, because let me tell you something. I was at Broward with Tato, and he told me the whole story. He told me nobody has taken care of him. Nobody has taken care of his family. The family was taking care of Katie and Tuto, but nothing had been taken care of with Tato. So we know what's going on, and Tato needs to be taken care of. Do the right thing. The lady already has the paperwork. She knows what I'm talking about. We know Katie, we know Tuto, we know they're being taken care of. And Charlie says, all right, let me look into things. So for all that he wants to be the big tough guy, taking on potentially blackmailers, potentially hoodwinking the FBI into thinking there's nothing going on, he says, all right, let me look into things. And an implicit admission, because he has not denied the events up north that needed to be taken care of. He's not denied knowing Tuto and knowing Katie. He says, all right, let me look into things, which is as good as an admission that he can look into things as possible. Imagine you phone someone up and you haven't a clue what they're talking about. Would you say, let me look into things? No, you only say that if you know what they're talking about, even if you've only got a small grasp of what they're talking about. It's an admission right there and then. In almost everything Charlie says in this call to the FBI, he's admitting he knows more than he's saying. The FBI continues with no more effing around. This ain't going to go away. Tato, you guys need to do the right thing for Tato. That's my brother, man. That's my brother. And he needs to be taken care of. His family needs to be taken care of, just like Katie and Tato have been taken care of. And Charlie says, all right, I never have met these people, but let me call you back, okay? And again, we've got a very, very telling phrase here. It's not, I don't know these people. It's not, I don't know anything about the events up north either, by the way. It's, I have never met these people, is what he says. A blatant lie, since one of them is his girlfriend, so God knows what you're thinking there, Charlie. Again, not like the FBI could check that one out if you suspect it's the FBI, but I have never met these people. Again, I think that's that deniability that the Adelsons got themselves by commissioning someone to commission people who they'd never met to go and do the hit. So the denials that are in there from Charlie are not, I don't know what this problem is up north. The denials is, I don't know these people. I don't know the person that's calling me, and I have never met these people. The FBI guy calls him out on that. That's bullshit, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know this lady. I know your relationship with this lady, but we know what the F is going on. Charlie says something indistinct, and then the caller says, it ain't going to go away. Take care of Tato just like you take care of Katie and Tuto, man. And Charlie says, let me call you back, which is the way we would end all calls with people that we're completely mystified by, isn't it? Let me call you back. Charlie doesn't say very much during that call. He wants to be cool. He wants to be smart. He wants to be cagey. He's on an information gathering exercise. And with the things that he says, he gives the game away that he was involved in the murder of Dan Markel. Do subscribe to get more daily breakdowns when they come on the Donna Adelson trial, and that big one is coming at the end of week 1, where we look deeply at the words of Wendy Adelson, answering the big questions. Were you involved in this? Why did you think you would be a suspect in this, Wendy? We'll look at how she deals with that. And also Robert Adelson. I believe he gave away more than he intended to when he was on the stand. Subscribe to make sure you get that as soon as it drops. If you want more, you'll find it at neveratruerword.com. You can find there a load more on the Adelsons in podcast or video form. But however you like to consume your Adelson content, it is there for you at neveratruerword.com. And we'll see you soon for something new from Never a Truer Word.